one thing is this, is again going inwards, is that we need to understand, again, coming from the engineering, pure petroleum engineering perspective, is that we are in a declining reserve. How do we boost our production at minimum cost? First, increase the pie so that we can all share. The pie is shrinking, then there's pressure everywhere. Yeah, good. So, you know, when you produce oil, you are only producing probably 30% of what is actually there. Yep. So when you say I have 100 million barrels in my reservoir, you're only going to produce 30 million barrels. The 70 million barrels are lost. So technology to optimize our production, yeah, existing production, starting with the independent producers, yeah. The first thing we need to do is to have standardization. Good. Yeah, standardization. That is, in other words, when you go to Total, go to Shell, go to ExxonMobil, you see there are multiple standards for the same solution. All of them have different pipelines. Interconnectivity of production doesn't happen because everybody has projects, has a budget, submitted to NAPIMS or NIMS, and then it goes that way. So the actual cost, overall cost, is high. Yeah? We talk about aging infrastructure, but the truth of the matter is that there's lack of interconnectivity in our production system, and that's adding a layer of cost and also a significant amount of losses. We talked about pipeline vandalization, but you see, if we have standardization, we have right now very few, at least where land and swamp is concerned. If we're not going to Bonny, we are going to Forcados. Escravos is on its own. But you see, it's on its own. People now barge in. Barging increases the cost significantly because of lack of infrastructure. We now talked about refining. Now, regional refiners, we talked about modular refining, which came up here. Modular refiners have had very good margins, obviously. You put in the small modular refinery or topping plant right in the middle of your production. You're not going to transport the crude far and go near. So regionally, you should be able to satisfy the demand, the local demand, because you minimize the long-range transportation. So my point is that we need to deal with the problem from both ends of the spectrum.
But even the modular refineries we hear are not producing crude.
Well, they're not producing PMS as we know it. Yeah, they are what I call topping plants. So they essentially extract part of the crude. They don't crack the crude to get your what you call PMS, but they fill a niche. They fill a very important niche, and that is where the niche that gas can fill easily. We have a lot of gas. There's a fair amount of gas flaring. You capture that gas, creates what I call transportation corridors, because the issue is that if you fill your CNG tank in Calabar, how far are you going to go before the thing runs out? So you need to create a chain of refill stations along the way. So create corridors, Calabar to Lagos, Calabar to Abuja, and where you have that, you bring the cost of your transportation and therefore reduce your demand. Reduce your demand, you now have more crude to sell to the market.